I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I I don't know what other film that can compete with this one in terms with the whole style and everything else that goes with it. I did make a video about Bohemian Rhapsody. That's on a different level. I'm talking about this specific genre of animation and creativity. And I am so glad they associated with Marvel to make this really possible, though. I love the whole idea. Even when the trailers came out, I was hyped for it. I watched it. It exceeded everything of my expectations. I'm just gonna go really blatant details on everything that I saw. So before I get into that, I'm just gonna say a couple things. That one, I love the music. The music choices and everything worked pretty well. Two, I love the characters. They all of them were fit into the movie, and not once that I can think of in my head were like useless or anyway. Three, the style, the artwork, beautiful, beautiful colors, beautiful work that they did. The animations were so good. And the theme of it, I love it. I love the theme very much. Those are like the top three. The music, I love that. And the theme of it was like a top of like it's how do I explain it? It's like a comic book type of vibe that you'll be getting, sort of, but it's not really like a comic book. If you kind of catch the drift, it's like showing you like the styles of a comic book, but like 90% of the time will be just like the movie, and I like that. And the animations, the color work and artwork, those were just spot on, beautiful in every way. And yeah, it's just mainly the colors really fascinated me in that movie. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, oh yeah, before I even talk spoilers, if you haven't watched, that's your only warning, and let's get right into it. So, at the beginning, we got introduced to Peter Parker through the comic book, sort of. I like this. I love this how they executed like the first 30 to a minute, just giving you run like a rundown about Peter Parker being Spider-Man. I like that. It's not too long and it's not too short. How it sums up for its origin and where he is now. I like that. It was a neat little touch and detail that I like it, and it did the same for the other rest of the Spider-Man. The one that's connected to the robot, forgot her or his name, Spider-Man Nora, Peter Porker, two different Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Gwen. Yeah, then we get to introduce with Miles, who just got moved to Brooklyn, like I think it's a private school, and we get to see his parents. His dad's a cop and his mom's a nurse. We get to have a little interaction right there. Then then we get our scene. It's from the trailer that when his dad drops him off to school and he says, "I love you." He says, "Yeah, I know." And he says, "Yes, I love you back," and all that was pretty funny. I enjoyed that moment. I was laughing so much. But yeah, love your parents. So he gets to deep in the high school, and now he gets, or I think it is high school, or not high school, like college or something, because you stay over there, or university. But yeah, we get to understand more about Miles's life. That he transferred to a new school, and he has to deal with all this pressure of working, being on time, doing projects and all that. And he did not want to go there. He just wanted to go back to where the other school, it was Brooklyn Middle, I believe so, that he wanted to go there. But, his dad had a little hissy fit with him. So we get to see the relationship that Miles has with both of his parents, his mom, and then his dad. But, sometimes he's kind of like iffy with his dad sometimes. He loves him, but, he doesn't show it that much. Then he tries to, get kicked out of school on purposely because he doesn't like it until his teacher gives him an essay assignment about his expectations. Then he goes to his uncle's house and he finds his uncle as what's the word I'm looking for? His uncle is a motivation to him. He's like the one that he looks up to. And he's like the one that has a stronger connection than his dad, and you get to see that in the movie. And then it cuts off or not cuts off. There's like more dialogue. I'm just like not going every single detail because that's gonna be a lot of brain memory. Then they go to the sewer, and Miles Miles brings out his artist types of feel, like with the spray cans and all that. When you make him some cool art designs, yeah, he shows that off, and it was cool. I like how they show like the creative side of Miles, of what Miles likes to do in that time. Well, not in that time, but like other things, but like we get to see his creative side. That's what I mean. And then Spider came. And then he and his uncle had to go. Then he had to go with and took a picture. Then spider bit him, but it wasn't just a regular spider. It was the radioactive one. Same thing that transforms Peter Parker into that, but it was glitched out. So we'll get more into that. Then when Miles slept over the day, he grew a little bit. Going through puberty, but also going through the phase of being a spider. Then he interacts with Gwen. Oh yeah, he did earlier. Forgot to mention that, but yeah, they now both of them have an interaction when Miles sticks his hand into Gwen's shoulder, then to her hair, then got stuck because Miles doesn't know how to control his powers, just like the original Peter Parker, and I'm assuming for the rest of the Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, multi-Spider-Man. I don't know, but it cuts back off to when Miles was freaking out with his powers. He starts to walk on all that. He went back to the same sewer, to where the spider was, and then he heard noises. He went down deeper, and then Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man in Miles' universe. Peter Parker and all that. Then, he was finding the Green Goblin, not the one, like, that dresses up like an actual, like, 10 feet green, like a goblin, like an actual goblin, and it's green. Then, he's fighting him because not only that the subways not only down there was a subway, it was also a testing facility for Aquamax because Kingpin, big guy, was running a test of opening things from a different dimension because he fought Spider-Man before and he almost killed him right in front of his wife and his son. And then Kingpin let go of Spider-Man and he was chasing him, and they got into the car, and then they got in the car crash. So they both died, and he tried to get his family back, but through a different dimension. That was his goal there. You get to see more in that of how sentimental that he is about his family. And then more interaction. Miles gets into the conflict with Green Goblin and Spider-Man. Spider-Man rescues him. And the cool thing I like about this animation is when it's when the spider senses, when they all can detect it, like not like one Spider-Man can know. Or I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to explain it. But they both had a moment when they had spider sense going on and explaining that he's just, or Peter or Spider-Man or whatever, just says that he's just like Miles. He has the same powers, and he's gonna teach him. And then the experimentation opened up, the rare dimension opening or whatever. Then Goblin was long story short, he put Spider-Man into that ray, and then that's what causes the whole multiverse, because with a simple DNA, you can, find other people that are just like you, but not totally like you, because And Spider-Man, when he put into the ray, they're accessing his DNA, not as Peter Parker, but as the Spider-Man part. So when they pulled the other Spider-Man, they were only looking for Spider-Man that just related to him, but not the person itself. So that's why there's different versions of Spider-Man and Spider-Woman. Not just like different versions of Peter Parker. No, just different versions of Spider-Man. And then the whole thing happens to any other Spider-Man. Peter B. Parker explains his origin. Spider-Gwen explains hers. I think it's, Peter Parker, Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Nora, and that Penny Parker, I think that's her name, or his name, explains their origin. Same thing with the whole spider biting them, and they got powers, so the weird happens to them. And when he put Spider-Man into that ray effect with the whole dimension opening thing, they all got sucked into another dimension to Miles's, and then they're having this big conflict and all that. Then Peter Parker died in front of Spider-Man. That Miles couldn't do any, or Miles saw, but Spider-Man died in front of Miles because Miles couldn't do anything because he doesn't know how to control his powers there. And then they had a whole monument. I'm not gonna say I love that. It was kind of sad, but the cool part about it is when Stan freaking Lee came back with another cameo, and to sell off the Spider-Man suits for any sizes. It was a neat little, like, 30 seconds of that. I like it. And then before he died, he wanted Miles to help him destroy the whole dimension opening thing, because it can destroy this whole world and his city as well. But then, I think it was on the trailer when Peter B. Parker, that's the older Spider-Man, was gonna ask about Miles when he went to his grave. And, yeah, it kicked off a lot of things that Spider-Man agreed to help Miles get to his roots, even though he was sort of a bad teacher. And then they went over to get the flash drive because Miles broke the one that Spider-Man, the one who died, gave to him. He broke that. They got a new one, and and all that. Then they reunite. Then Spider-Gwen reunited with them to help. And then they went to Aunt May's house, and she knew all along about the whole dimensioning thing because Spider-Ham and Spider-Nora and Penny Parker went to Aunt May as well. It's just too much. It's just, I don't know. But the twist was, it's just one of Kingpin's henchmen was, I think it was Paradon or something. It was this strange purple cloaked dude that was actually Miles's uncle. We don't get to see that until later to the movie. Spoilers. Then it cuts further even more when we see this interaction with all the superhero or supervillains. Not Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Scorpion, and I think Paradon. They're all at AMA's house with Spider-Man, and because they've finished recreating the hard drive to destroy the whole dimension-y thing at all. And then Paradon went after Miles because Miles has the flash drive and all that. And keep in mind, some of these details I am saying it truly, but it's just how I'm putting them together is not the way exactly. I'm just showing it now so I don't go specifics, because I don't need to talk more than like freaking 30 to 1 hour. Then Miles reveals to Paradon that he's Miles, or Spider-Man is Miles, and then Paradon reveals himself that's Aaron, Miles' uncle, and then Kingpin shot him dead. Then it cuts further than when they get to Miles' room, and all the Spider people are there, and the whole plot with the interaction with Miles and the other spider people, that they think Miles wasn't ready. And honestly, he wasn't. He was just under pressure. He was just going through a lot of pressure of what's happening right now and what his expectations is to be. But throughout everything, they decided to go without him because they need one person to close the game, one person to stay behind. If they stay behind, they die. Peter B. Parker decides to do that, and to be the one to get left behind, because Miles wasn't ready to do that, because he really wasn't, until Peter B. Parker told him all he needs is just a leap of faith. And yeah, then his dad came by telling him about that, but he wasn't answering it. I'm not gonna go through that. Then we get to see this epic scene that I think it's the best part of the movie. Miles gave this really look that it's like, okay, but then he closes his eyes and releases all his anger and everything, and his hands start getting all electric, and he opens his eyes, all electricity and all that. He break free from the web chair, and then he rise. He just went to Aunt May's house, and we get to see this best montage ever when we see Miles on the building in the subway station. And it was the best part of the scene, because we had to see Miles' transformation to being Spider-Man, of having his suit being painted by himself with spray cans, having Aunt May helping him with the web shooters and all that. That was the best scene, that Miles' rises. And that music, though, excellent, just right on. And then Miles came to the Alchemax building, the same, or down in the subway station where the dimension portal is. Long story short, he basically saved every single one of them. And it's actually pretty good. I suggest everybody should go watch it. Pretty good. And then that's about it. Then he has some one-on-one action with his dad as Spider-Man, by the way, and that's about it. And his whole expectations went really, really well, and that's all I gotta say. I'll give this film a 10 out of 10. Perfect, spot on. It did everything well as I expected it to be, and I feel like you guys should just go watch and just have your thoughts and opinions about it. But if you have watched it, let me know in the comments what you got to say about the film. If you have a certain part that you like or whatever, I just would like to know what you think about it in the comments below. And I hope that they can make another one out of this. I want to see Miles going through an adventure as Spider-Man. But if it's just as that film only, and that film only that they're only gonna make, then I can kind of respect that. I'm just a little, because I would like to see more if Miles is gonna grow up and still, protect the city as Spider-Man, or if there's gonna be more interactions, or if it's just gonna be just like that. Miles is Spider-Man. And that's all is to it. But I wouldn't mind watching another sequel of the Spider-Man. But let me know, guys, what you think about it, and have a great day. My name is Fendigos239. Spider-Man to Spider-Verse, best movie, best animation film yet.